Hey guys, welcome back here to No One Made Mention of This. I'm your host here, Kiva.
Together with Tasmatitotahiti.
And here is Savant.
Savant has made his long-awaited return. I know you guys have been asking for him. Don't worry, we didn't kill him. He's still here. So today is a special episode. We're going to be talking about some tips, tricks, and our own personal experiences for our underclassmen who are writing with their upcoming exams in mind. So we have some prompts that will be read out, and then we will now chime in with our own personal thoughts and experiences with them.
Yeah, it's a very important episode. I think it's going to really span across for those who are preparing for the exams and those who are even yet to gain admission into medical school. And today we'll have to say a lot, most especially regarding preparation, our own self-experiences and mistakes, and how we've
corrected
made
them along the way.
Beautiful corrections. So regarding this, we'll be having I think about 5 phases to it. We have the prep phase where we talk about how we prepare for the exam experience totally, the mistakes learned and corrections we've made, post-exam reflections, advice to all our junior colleagues. So we'll start now. So the first question will be sent to or thrown at Savant. So Savant, what's your ideal preparation or your study technique for an exam?
Basically, how do you create, how's your schedule? Do you do group discussion? And what do you use, only the slide? Do you add textbooks? And how do you go about for the preparation?
Well, the best techniques probably for the preparation of the exam is, it depends on who you are. That's the first thing. You have to understand who you are as a being, whether you enjoy reading alone or you enjoy reading with people. But irrespective of who you are, there's something that should be there, like the discussion with people. That should be part of the routine, like the discussion with people. That's one. And then the other thing you can do to probably make the reading much more easier is having a partner that you read with. There's a difference. There's a discussion, like, okay, you've read this, I've read this, boom, we're discussing it. And then there's even having a partner, you are reading for a very long period of hours. So when you have a partner, you read in between, you chill, and then so it makes it
that can also be very tricky. Sometimes you get caught up chilling and you chill for most of the period of time instead of reading. So you gotta be very careful in those periods.
But still, to Savant's point, if you say you get exam for your front, you should go chill for long. It's
not even particularly chilling. It's you guys start gisting and then you gist the whole period is supposed to be.
Okay, I understand. Me and Ted cannot be discussion partners up by ourselves because we've tried it several times.
It doesn't work.
Fail because once we start gisting, we don't stop gisting. Yeah. But in a group, we can discuss because there are other factors there to break us and keep us in check. As we call it, a straight man, somebody that if we are going to the left or to the right, they bring us back to the middle. You understand?
And even something I also figured that it doesn't even have to be it could be your partner, but it doesn't have to be a face-to-face thing. It could be different angles of reading. And then when you want to take those breaks, you just call the person, you guys just chat about what you've read so far. And more like an accountability partner, someone you just tell about how much you've read, what you have left to do. I mean, prior to, I think, was it MB, but I think I didn't do it in my pre-MB, but I did it in my MB. So it's a month to the exam. I went on this website, I printed a whole calendar, 30 days calendar, probably I think 42 days. It was more than a month. And on the 40 days calendar, I wrote what I wanted to cover on each day, including the days of the exam. So I had my plan figured out. Though I had a discussion partner, we're doing it together. So on every day when I cover, maybe in the night, around some period of time, we talk together, we talk to each other about how much we've covered, what we have left. We reflect on how much we've done. It's okay, I think we've covered this. I think we can ignore this. I think we could, all of those kind of things. And really helped.
That's thoughtful. That makes sense that way. The whole point of having a partner is just to not make everything boring. Doing it solo, everything can just be boring. When you have somebody that keeps you accountable, and then you also, you've done this, let's do this. It makes everything just flow. And you even know you are preparing for exam. That's the cheat code of getting a partner.
Throughout my pre-clinicals, I never did any group discussion. I was a lone wolf. I was by myself in my house just reading. But
it's terrible.
No, it wasn't bad then.
But then it wasn't bad. But when you try the partner, this thing is easier.
Yeah, it's actually much easier.
Crazy error is using the female partner.
The discussion partner thing, or even discussion group.
I'm not saying you shouldn't use the females though, but it comes at a cost. I swear, like, let's speak fact here.
Okay, so the group thing, but the reason why it helps, like the way it helps compared to read, because reading by yourself, you read, you forget, you have to go back. But like if you're in a group, there are some topics that they taught us in class, but that I never read them like by myself. It was the group, like we discussed it in the group from beginning. You know, you have like an outline for like for stuff. We call it deep seat definition, etiology. You know, like yeah. So we have deep seat in our head already. We not discuss it. And we'll not talk about it within ourselves, and it's already in your head.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of group discussion. Before I used to be like, group discussion, I know about that thing, but like actually, it's not a bad thing. If you find people,
that's the reason why people.
Whether a female, I feel it just depends on the people you like.
Yeah.
Me, I know
the people you get along with.
Exactly.
Me, I know go cap for una. I'll tell you when it's a female discussion partner, it comes at a cost.
I believe that's what they call personal opinion. My friend, it's not universal.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so I feel like because I've had a female group discussion partner before, and we keep it not strictly. Shall we talk about other things, but mainly we don't go devoid of like far from studies. We keep it.
It's individual thing actually. But me, I use a female partner, and it's awesome honestly. I think it's a male. It just depends on who you get along with.
Yeah. So now the second part of the question was. What do you use? Like, what do you consult? Study resources, yes. Is it just your slides? Do you add like other textbooks?
Okay, now I get it. Depends on the phase of the exam. It depends on the time duration.
Yeah.
If you still have like a long period of time, let's say like 2 months to exam, or like 45 days, 30 days, you can consult the textbook. But now let's assume everything, and it actually depends on who you are.
Yeah.
If you're an IPA, you can consult textbook. But let's say you are not an IPA, you identify yourself that I'm not an IPA. Yeah, I'm not really sure you should consult textbook, because you consult textbook for you to process the textbook stuff. You read your slide, you have to process it. That's like too processing.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, that's too stress already. But once you neglect the textbook, you only focus on the slide. That's only a single stress that's going to pass through. And then you're reading now what you should read like 5 hours with your slide. You're reading like maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Also, so at the stage, it depends on the stage where you are. But currently, the people that will be listening to this right now, they are at the stage where like everything is choked up already.
Yeah.
So forget about your old textbook. It's just your slide. Forget about your old textbook.
I actually echo the sentiment that Savant just brought here.
For me though, I think this would have made more sense if we dropped this episode like way before you guys started preparing for the exam.
Yeah.
But like when it's already at this point, what I used to do is that obviously it's anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. And we have these very good textbooks that are like literally summary, like BRS anatomy, BRS physiology. I currently recommend BRS physiology. BRS anatomy is like Gabala of like textbooks. You get like they talk about even things that our school don't even like make reference to, but you could just add them to like your knowledge if you have the time.
As we said, we're working with time duration.
Yeah, I get you, but I'm saying it's like obviously we all read maybe like the red book, that's Chaurasia, Grace, all of that. It could be all of that books, So when it comes to this tail end, you're not opening any book again. I mean, you're only opening to verify. You saw an MCQ question, you're not very certain.
You're not opening to new things.
Yes. Sometimes you might check, like you might actually open the book to check some things. Maybe you need an arrangement.
That's what I'm saying.
You need an arrangement
you're not reading something fresh
like you've never
at this point again.
Yeah.
Even if there's something you've not read before, don't bother yourself. It might sound like a bad advice, but I think it's the best thing you can do for yourself. Don't bother yourself and just go and cram one summary. It's an exam. But you need this knowledge. You might have to go back to it in life.
Not that we're saying people shouldn't like go and read stuff that they've not learned before, you understand? But at this phase of the exam, you should have already had maybe like 70% of what you know. So what you don't know is not more than what you know. So it's better for you to cement and solidify what you do know.
Cram what
then if you can add new stuff, but make sure what you know it. Don't go and half know it and then the exam hall.
You can cram what you don't know that used to come out. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, it's an IPA, it might have a different opinion.
No, that's why he's here. Like,
there's IPA opinion and there's like average opinion.
No, I don't actually have anything to say on it.
Okay. Me, what I used to do back then in preclinicals, because like, as you said, the timing of this is not, if we had dropped it earlier, like, it could have gone a long way. What I used to do was I get my textbook, I get my slide, and I get like a video, either Ninja Nerd or maybe Khan Academy or something like that, and then read the textbook, read the slide, watch the YouTube video, carry my note and
That's
write
like
something down.
start studying.
That's why I usually say I start 6 months before for any exam. I start my preparation 6 months before. So that's what I do. I consult those two materials.
When you exam 6 months.
Yes, like 6 months before the exam.
I mean, to me though, I think your prep for exam start on the day you start the class, or even prior to.
But sometimes it's not like that too.
In the ideal world.
In ideal world.
I'm not in an ideal world, bro.
Sometimes
But I mean,
you
like,
get used to a class
if
might
the-
take you at least 4 months sometimes for you to get into the flow of okay, this how this
For
class
me though,
moves.
like moment I'm reading a slide, like I'm literally like technically even prepped
You know,
for it.
there's reading and then there's reading for
And
exam.
theoretically, that's
There are
how it
two-
is.
No, there's that one now. But obviously, you've been in the class for so long. All what you've been reading is like, I'm reading this thing for the first.
You just said that your preparation starts from the first day.
Yes,
And I'm
no.
telling you that that's not it.
ideal world now.
There's, wait, what I'm saying now is that obviously, since you've been in the class, you've been preparing for the exam.
Yes.
It's like facing Thanos, or you've been informed that Thanos is coming one day. All what you are doing in your life.
In
even-
an ideal world,
That's how it is, though. Like
but
the first day of exam.
realistically, you don't start on the first day.
I do
some
that
people
too.
start like
I
2
mean-
months to exam period.
Yeah.
And most
That's when you gotta like start looking for the number of slides that you've covered and all of those things.
Yes.
I mean, I could just be doing that to verify how much I've covered.
No, some people actually start the exam preparation in just 2
I would
months.
say
Some are
that's-
just be reading.
I
Like,
think that was a bad thing to do though, but like,
It's not. We're not saying it's a
You need
good
to
thing, but
consolidate the knowledge.
it's what actually happens. It's not. We can't come and tell you this is lived
yeah, and that's
experiences.
the real
Most
thing of what
people.
happen. Most people, like,
okay, but I'll say,
80% of
even
the
if it's, you know, they say like, just like Yahoo in Lagos, even if everybody's doing it, that doesn't mean it's good, you know.
We are not.
yeah, but no, we have to talk about the reality.
This is a completely
what
different
will happen.
thing.
Like,
Like,
80% of the people, bro. Even I personally.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why.
like,
So
yes, and
the only
two
thing that
months.
I know is like instead of that, because that 2 months, I know 2 months will not be enough because I'm not like a very smart person. 2 months is not going to be enough for me to do what I need to do to pass. So I start earlier. But still, back to the point of consulting
people are
things.
serious, man.
I read all those things and I write down my note. Once I write it down in my note, I'm not opening any textbook. I'm not opening any slide again. That's what I do. I write it down. I have books. Once I've written it down, that's all I read. That's my consult. You understand? So
But
that's
to brief everything off. At the time where everything is struck, the best thing is to first consult your slide. If what you are looking for is not on your slide, check the textbook. If it's not in the textbook, probably go to YouTube and check 1 or 2 things.
Just check it online or something.
Yeah.
But I think that's that about the preparation phase.
Okay.
So now it's like the exam experience. What does it feel like to write this exam? You know, the exam we're speaking about here is like the pre-MBBS exam.
Okay.
Specifically,
you can also
It
apply
could-
to
it can apply to
exam.
almost any exam. But we might have to actually like dissect other exams maybe later in life. But for now, let's focus more on the pre-MBBS.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, what does it feel like on the day of the exam, prior to preparing for the exam? You know the anxiety, the intensity. You know, like even the oppression from your colleagues. You know, when they come and tell you that, "Afa, bro, you don't read." So I feel like, you know, that sometimes then you come and list things you've read, and I didn't even care to even list what I've read. Then you make me feel less of myself that I haven't done anything. Meanwhile, you've never read what I have read.
True.
You get? It's like those things. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, regarding that, okay, let's take a look from the whole class. When you first enter the class, like your 300 level, like the fear will be there. But if you are somebody like that talking, as you are reading, the fear will just vanish. Then towards the exam period, the fear too will come back. Like, yeah, the fear too will come back towards the exam period, and there will be fear. But if you are still reading, you will, okay, yeah, the fear should not be there. But there will be still some level of fear that will still be there. Honestly, that will still be there.
It's not human.
Yeah, that will still be there. But the whole point is that the exam preparation is much more harder than the exam itself.
Yeah.
That's the fact.
Exam is just 1 week.
Yeah, exam is just 1 week.
It's just 1 week.
But the 1 week itself is even the exam preparation is much more harder compared to the whole exam. So don't let the fear paralyze you. That's the most important thing here. Don't let the fear paralyze you. And then normally the first exam, honestly, the anxiety is going to be there. The fear is going to be there, even as they are sharing the paper and all those things. But if you are grounded already, once you see the question, boom, you'll be able to fire it up.
To add to what you said, the exam preparation is what mostly determines like the exam phase itself. If you prepared well, to an extent, you know that okay, talk like you know that you do well. But if your preparation was not as solid as you would have intended, like there'll be a lot more. There's fear normally,
Sure.
but if you didn't prepare, it's going to be more than usual. And with normal human beings, you know, as well this 200 level class, you know, they've never done any of these things before. This is their first time experiencing something like this. So the anxiety is going to be there, the fear, uncertainty, or what if, all those going to be there. But if you prepare well, you come to class, you read, 50% is already insured for you. It's just for you to build the confidence to enter there. You might be anxious before you start, but once it starts, as far as you've done what you needed to do and you've prayed your prayer, you just go in and it's going to be okay.
Bro, when they shared the anatomy paper, question paper for me, bro, I was shaking. Honestly, bro, I made a particular decision that, honestly, I didn't like that decision. And honestly, I was actually shaking. I was fearing. But then I opened the question paper, bro, this thing was not even hard. Honestly. So the fear will be there. But how to combat the what if, the uncertainty is that now the exam, you have not started the exam now, just keep pushing, working hard. That just you are putting your own energy, not just mind energy, like your maximum energy. Yeah. It will just help you combat the fear psychologically. So give it.
Do you have anything to add?
I think for me though, it's like one thing I think I've never really helped me in anything in life particularly is fear.
Yeah.
So there's something I used to say. Obviously, like if it's going to kill me, I will die.
Okay.
You know, like it's there.
Easier said than.
But like the fear is not going to add anything to it.
But it's a human response.
Actually, there's a way you can utilize fear to your advantage. I want to give a scenario. There are like people fear. It's like I read the book and I said fear is even to your advantage. Like look at all those world best players. He said if Ronaldo want to play a penalty now, do you think it won't? There will be no fear. He said there will be fear because he must perform well. The whole world is watching. The fear will grip him, but he doesn't let the fear let him down. He will now, now there is fear, I must perform, then I have to do what I have to do. So you can actually use the fear to your advantage. Yeah. Exactly. You use the fear as a motivation. Like I'm fear, I don't want to fail this exam.
We are talking about two contexts of fear. There is the fear of like being anxious, and there's the fear of uncertainty. Like so the fear of uncertainty is the one you are talking about. That there's this little poem or like story I read where like this mother cheetah was teaching the baby cheetah how to how to hunt. So then it was about to like dock on the particular animal he saw, and then bird started making noise, and the animal ran away. Then he asked the mom, "Why can't the bird shut up?" Then the mom replied, "You can make all the preparation on earth, and that doesn't guarantee your success."
Yeah, sure.
That's true.
That's the fear of uncertainty. Now there's now like you being anxious. You get what I'm saying? Just because of what you told me, what my seniors told me, was that like this thing is bloody and I've never experienced this kind of exam in my life. How do I even get past the exam? Like that's the fear of you just being anxious. So that's the fear I'm talking about. That fear of uncertainty is in everybody. And you can't be overconfident, because anything can go wrong. On the day of the exam, it might be the person beside you that is doing something and they will just pack the two of you and just, So you get, so like this one I'm talking about is the fear of just being anxious. You need to actually like take that out. Whether you're going to pass, whether you're going to fail, you're going to do it whether or not the fear is there.
True.
Why am I just keeping the fear away and just getting the job done?
Yeah, but to that sentiment, you can't just, it's just like you say, it's only sad, you know, say, just stop being sad. It's not possible, basically. Okay. The fear will always be there.
I will come down to
it's more to the sentiment
how I think you can get past this fear.
Or even with the fear there, you can still do the fear will never, like, it might never go away.
The anxiety will still be there.
The fact that
you might feel like you can push it will come back, which is the good thing about it. You get, obviously you've not done this thing before, you're supposed to be scared of it. Who are you?
Yeah, there's some fear you feel fear.
Yeah. So that's why I say the preparation
to ask you, like, dude,
because it's like if you know that the fear is there, but you're like, I've read.
It's more like
you understand.
It can be a vicious cycle. It can be a positive feedback.
Yeah.
When the fear is there, you've not done enough, and you are not doing because of the fear. The fear will now, then the fear will continue, and you are doing less. Then now like a vicious cycle. Honestly,
like
it can lead to failure.
You go to class, you see your colleagues telling you that person will just tell you say like I'm on me, I will cover upper limb and lower limb today, and you be like I didn't even get to cover like quarter of it in 2 or 1 week.
You now feel like you're not.
You're doing anything. And you feel like you can never even do anything.
So that's the point I'm going at. The fear will be there, but don't let it make you do less. Like the fear, you want to combat the fear by doing more. Exactly. So as you are doing more, the fear will be reducing on the other side, and then you keep doing more, and then the fear will be reducing. But if the fear is there, then you are doing less. The fear now will be on the bigger side. You'll be more fearful, and then you continue to do less. And then if you are doing less, the cycle is not something you want for. So when you are fearful, you are doing more. The fear reduces, you are doing more, like that. And then some period, the fear will come, then boom, I'm going to class.
Not withholding. While in the exam hall, please, all of you should have your watches and be very time conscious, because the exam is like a whole different world. Like time moves at a different rate while you're in the exam period.
3 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, like 3 hours. You'll be hearing 3 hours. If they tell you to sit down and do nothing for 3 hours, it's like hell on earth. If they say you even plank for 3 minutes, that's like a different time distance. But in that exam hall, you'll be constantly writing.
3 hours, 30 minutes.
Like it goes by really quick. So make sure you are time conscious. You should, stop.
That even tells you a lot about how you end up having so much to write for the exam. I mean, they'll tell you it's hard. They'll tell you it's 19 questions in anatomy. You barely want, but like, you will write. You will know something. You will have an idea as long as you read. So what I'm saying, even regarding the fear, is that the fear would come. It will often come once in a while. But what I would often do is tell myself that I have to be real with myself, And what I used to counter the fear the most of the time is a flexible plan.
Okay.
So like when the fear comes, maybe like 2 months to the exam, I'm being real with myself. There'll be speculation about the exam date, for instance. Now.
Yes.
And then it comes to be like, so Abdulkadir, what do you know? Can you cover this within 2 months? Can you know? You get what I'm saying now? Yeah. At this point, am I supposed to be reading new things or stopping this? So then I analyze things. So this is easier when you do it with someone else. You can actually have like a discussion partner. You guys actually talking about it. I mean, what can we do at this? Should we start our prep at this point? 3 months to 2 months, so you guys actually like talking. Is this exam preparation? Where everything we're doing now is like strictly exam. It's not even just preparing for tests or anything. And like while you're preparing, you have to attend lectures, you have to attend practicals, you have to attend dissection, you have to also like, the lectures is very important because new knowledge is coming in and you have to prepare for some tests. So like, how do you do all of these things? So how you counter the fear to me is strict planning, a very flexible plan. Because of the uncertainty of lectures coming by, tests coming by, that's why it has to be flexible. So let's say if you normally use a week to cover upper limb now, give it a week and a half. I'm very sure within that your 1 week of covering the upper limb, something else might come up and you have to like pause your exam prep and prepare for that thing. It might be a test, might be an assignment, it could be anything. So a flexible plan would really help, I think. And you have to always remind yourself, it's much more important to become composed and collected while doing any of these things, because fear will not do you any good. If you would cover 3 pages for 1 hour, be real with yourself. It's 3 pages I'll cover with 1 hour. I cannot do like IB over there that is covering.
What? Facts. You have to know yourself.
9 pages within 5 minutes. You gotta be real with yourself. Like,
you have to know.
This is it.
This is me.
There's no. If I use 1 month to prep for the exam, I'm using 5 months. It's my business.
Yes.
Like, it's just what it is.
You have to be honest with yourself.
And that doesn't mean you lack in life. There are other areas where you probably will thrive more than IB. So understand that this is just the part where you gotta be like, just be real with yourself. Be calm, be composed, and be collected.
Okay. So the next.
Before you go, another point I think you can use to combat the fear is that so are some people that you're actually doing a lot, even more than enough. But the fear will still be there. Just take a book, sit down, analyze what you've read. Then you see that you've covered a lot.
Yeah, I think
the fear is just deceiving you.
And then
would you advise they like write down all the topics down and then look at them like, okay, I've read this one.
Actually, I don't. Yes, because one of the advice is that put what is on your mind on a paper. It gives a lot, so you can do that.
Planning, yeah, you could just wake up. Because I think I'm more of an early person. I wake up early every day. So like you could just wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you pray Fajr, and you just get your book and your pens. Like, what do I have to do? It's like being responsible. When you start becoming responsible as a man, you have so much in your mind. And if you don't write them out, you probably won't cover half of them. I mean, I'm still even lazy of that. These days, I just get the back of my note and just write, Abdulkadir, you read this slide, and this, so to practice this examination. But like sometimes I don't get to do every one of it. That even helps me cut them short. I remember the person that gave me this advice was Fatima Wada. She said, if you have like this, if you plan so much to do in a day and you don't cover them, and you look at it like you strictly followed the plan to cover them and you still didn't cover them, how about you just cut them into half and see if you cover them? So that's like you're trying to gauge yourself, know yourself. So if you now cover that half within that time frame, and you see that you still had more time, you had more, then you know your strictest thing. And there's something about we human beings, we improve, we adapt. So over time, when you keep on trying to adjust this thing, you find out that you became better. You start covering more within a very short time frame, so you get to even add more. And one thing I will also remind you guys about: don't forget your past questions. I mean, they guide you a lot. If you ever feel like you've not covered enough, just get up the past question and see. Let it redirect you. Let it remind you
of what you've not read.
Of what you've not read. And
so
then
now,
discuss with friends style.
Mistakes and lessons learned. So what mistakes did you make like either during the exam, like in the exam hall, or like before that you would want them to take notice of so that they don't also make the same mistake? Do you have any thoughts?
I have one.
I would say you guys should read like the questions very well. Like you guys should the reason why I say you guys should read very well is because there was, but I'll never forget this one. When I was writing my first MBA exam, our neuroanatomy question. In the past question, the previous year, they said we should write on the fourth ventricle. So I already calculated in my head, okay, even if they're going to ask us any other one, it won't be fourth ventricle again, because for like the past 2 years, it's fourth ventricle they'll be asking. So I went and learned all the ventricle. I knew how to, you understand? But as soon as I opened there, because that was like the one that neuro was like the shortest among all of them for me, I opened there, I saw the question. I just saw ventricle. I didn't read what they wrote. I went and wrote on lateral ventricle. I wrote like 3 pages worth of lateral ventricle. It was when I came out of the exam hall, we were about to even go in for the MCQs. That's when they were like, oh, these guys try for us, so they bring back fourth ventricle. My brain just snapped. I was like, fourth ventricle? I was like, yes, now, what you go see? I went and wrote on lateral ventricle. Since that day, and they'll tell you, read the questions well. You think they are joking. Since that day, anytime they give me, I read the question at least 4 or 5 times to make sure I've read what are they talking about, what are they saying, so that I don't go, because I'm sure if they were to mark the question on lateral ventricle, I'm sure I would get high marks, but they asked for fourth and I'm giving them lateral. I sent my own question, automatically I failed that question. You understand?
That has always been a golden advice on how to answer in the exam hall. Like, if you don't understand the question, most of the time you will go off point. And so the point is, read the question well, like read it well and understand
so
what you're saying.
So what mistake did you make? Like, give us like an example of something you made that you tell them not to do if they were in your shoes.
The mistake in the exam hall, in particular, in the
your own personal mistake that you have made.
I have mistakes.
Mr. Perfect. That's crazy.
Probably, maybe I would say I don't know how to summarize my points. Yeah, I would say, it's too much stuff, honestly. I would say I don't actually know how to summarize my stuff.
Well, that's not really a mistake. That's more of like
But I still make sure I always finish my point too. But it just part, I might do like, even though I'm not sure there's any exam I didn't finish or any test I didn't finish, even though I don't know how to summarize my points. But that would be, I don't make mistake in the exam.
Okay, mine is very simple and short. I think the first thing is to listen attentively to the instructions the lecturers will give you on that day. And secondly is like, take time to process the question. I mean, ignore your answer sheet and just grab the question paper and just read everything. Like, okay. And then before you answer any question, just read that question again. Because like, I remember, just because I paid attention and I just forgot that the upper limb was supposed to be here, the lower limb was supposed to be in another answer sheet. I mean, the first scary thing is that they give you 7 booklets. Like, what in my life is one they used to give? One. Then all of a sudden, you be like, is it a mistake? Are you supposed to pass the rest? Pick one. No, it's for you. That will scare you, but you should not even be scared at all. You should know it's for you. I mean, people have been writing it, you write it too. Right. Just sit down, listen attentively. If you think that the time it will reach you if you are very smart. So calm down, listen to the instruction, read the questions very well by yourself. Before you answer any question, read them clearly and be like, okay, what is my plan? First thing, you outline, and remember to always leave space for diagram. Come back and draw it. Diagram is just 2 marks. So always,
leave space in general.
Leave space for every diagram. And anyone you don't even know, because you have an outline, leave space for it. Because it's close marking. Even if you end up not writing it, you left space for it. They'll be like, he knows it too. You didn't get much time. 1 mark, 2 mark, everything will accumulate.
Another thing I would say is make sure you have you should come with a backup pen. For real, because mid-exam, you will not know your Bible will just finish and you've gone out on the floor because you're panicking. So, excuse me, who has to pen? Make sure you come with
I have something I have to say. I just remember I actually made a mistake in one of my exams. Yeah. Honestly. Wow. And bro, that exam actually cost me not actually getting the best in that particular course. It's this MCB, this thing. Okay. It's like, you have the stuff. You know the stuff, you know what to write. Then he said something like you have to process your information. Actually, I would say take 2 minutes or 1 minute to process your information before you answer the question. Bro, I was in the exam hall, I was answering question, but I know, bro, I'm writing rubbish. And I know I should be writing this. It's not that I don't know the answer. I know the answer, but I'm writing rubbish. I was like, guy, fuck, what are you writing? This is supposed to be what you should be writing. But like, there's no more time. I can't cancel it. I just continue writing the rubbish. And the reason because I didn't process, okay, I should answer it this way. So you have the stuff, you have the knowledge, everything. But like, take that 1 minute off and then, okay, let me, like, I'm going to answer it this way.
What are they asking me?
Honestly, and these are what I want to answer
from me.
So it's like, you have the stuff. It's not that I don't have the stuff, but because
And there's also this thing too. Do I give them everything I know about it? Do you get that kind of thing?
Then you have to, there's time constraint.
Yeah, there's so
that's
like,
why you have to work with an
the
outline.
important stuff like
Highlight
so
it.
that sometimes that that some story are textbook story. The lecturer no one hear them. Just make the major point. From the past question from talking to your seniors, those major points they want to hear.
So that
Get straight
it's the nail at the
On the head.
And yet, match your powerful soldiers forward before the movers will come.
Start off strong.
Yes.
Always, again, start the question start with that one, right? Because that's the one you answered. You don't have to think. It's not challenging you. You have enough time for the other ones that you have to sit down and actually think.
Any question that will make you overthink, that means you are not very strong.
Confident in it.
So ignore the question and come back at the end of it.
Also, make sure before you enter the exam hall, your phone off it, put it far from you. Don't even
Don't take your phone to the exam
exactly
hall.
like that. It should be far from you. Like, don't even carry it close to the exam hall. Like, because
put your bag.
You should put it in your bag. Keep your bag somewhere that is safe. That your things will be safe, so that you don't carry it inside.
I think
there. And in the exam hall too, don't be like, how do I say? There's a way somebody can look guilty. I don't know how to. And then you not bring
I don't even make plans to constitute to participate in any sort of malpractice. I mean, that's even very bad for you.
Yeah,
it's so bad. Like,
to save life.
This is it's medical school. Like, it's even put you on a very bad standpoint. Like, dude, like, what you're going to now. So why would you even start your life with that kind of thing?
True.
So to summarize the whole point.
I have one last little. Is it just to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, okay. Drop it.
Okay. Mine is that it's just the final thing I would say is that there are two things. The first thing is the day before the exam, sleep early. Because you see, there's the exam. We've all written an exam in our lives prior to medical school. I mean, if you know the stuff, you most likely deliver the stuff. But this exam is overwhelming. I mean, the MCQ I wrote that maybe things have changed now. Ordinary lifting paper, it was so thick that I got scared. I was like, where exactly you want me to write 530 something? Like what? What is that? The MCQ, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you sleep very well and you get up the next morning, you eat good food, not biscuit and Coke. Eat good food. Not the one that will make you super saturated, but like eat good food that will be enough to fill your stomach up, and eat lunch up, whether it's lunch or brunch before the next paper. Eat something too.
Because you need ATP.
Yeah, honestly, because the exam is overwhelming. You will know the stuff and you just lose energy to put the stuff there because you're almost too tired to do that. That's one thing. And the other thing is that gather this material, like list out the materials required for exam. You might look like when you're doing it. Then get a little purse or bag and put everything there.
So you don't have to
2 pencils, 4 pens. I mean 4 pens, 4 working pens. Your favorite one and 3 other ones that are like
in case.
Even your friend might need a pen one day, who knows? Eraser, your exam card, your ID card, everything should be in one purse. Anyone that cannot enter should be somewhere. Like, you should have one purse, you're keeping everything. And don't forget your bottle of water. Everything should be with you.
Just try to be a responsible student. Or that's it. So to summarize, the whole point is understand your question well, read it well, understand it, process your stuff before you answer it, have a good outline, and then be time conscious. Yeah, and then be a responsible student. Eat, sleep, and all
that. So now the next question is, how did you manage the period, like after exams, before release of result, like that anxious period of after your exams and you're waiting for?
I feel like,
do we still have that anymore? They release the result the next day now. Isn't that
they are releasing it.
For me, it's different. I think it took a while.
But maybe if it's going to take a while, if you put better thing down in the exam hall, you are going to know that you've passed it.
That's my advice.
My own is that they'll often bring, like, I mean, if it's going to take a while, you see some people will just come and be scaring you guys on the group. Oh, I heard this so date, our results coming. What would I often do is that I cannot change the result anymore.
True.
I mean, I cannot change the war I've been fought already. It's the result of the war we're waiting for. Sometimes I can even like delete my WhatsApp or archive the group, just keep it aside. Play PlayStation or like do something else, like live life amongst your family, your family.
It's coming regardless.
Read stories, enjoy your break. Whether you repeat, whether you fail the exam, whether you pass it, anything will happen. Except if you talk, I don't know. So do every other thing in life, then now pray very hard, because it's only prayer that is correct things at that point. Then you go, like, whether it's the mosque, whether it's the church, go there and kneel, or like, prostrate and pray. Tahajjud, anything you have, pray very hard. I think that's the only thing that is left for you that can work for you. When you do that, and when the actual result is going to come out, I mean, let them tap you like, for guy, the result don't show. I mean, don't be too anxious. Enjoy your break. Or else you not enjoy anything in this school before you even graduate.
I'm telling you.
Enjoy your break very well. Just enjoy your break. That's all I have to say.
I think those are all
You
the
want to
questions
say Savant?
we have.
I mean, Savant said, you know you have already passed.
You guys think by my guys. Honestly, nothing.
You know you have already passed.
You guys,
You know.
so Kiva,
I think the
closest one
last
for us.
thing, what can I say? I think one other thing is that, there's this thing that happened during my own time where I was sent the result prior to this thing. I didn't like it, honestly. I feel like whether the result is going to come out or not, like, let it be on the day to come out, and let me say on that day. I don't want to hear any story before it comes out. I don't want to feel anxious before it comes out. So those experiences are nice, maybe after when you think about it, but just put yourself on unnecessary pressure. It's never good to always be anxious, to always have that feeling of unrest. It's not fair to yourself, honestly. So to wrap that up, I think that's just all I'll say about it. There's nothing to wrap up about it. One thing I would say for sure, during this period of prep for exam, I mean, the prep is much more important than even the exam itself. The exam is like 20% of the whole thing. The preparation is what takes the most. And what I would tell you is that you will read, it look like you forgot. You might not carry the whole information, but you have them. Trust yourself. Just trust yourself on that one, that you get there. As long as you can take that anxiety off, you most definitely recollect the most. I mean, there are confident ones, there are people that are less confident because of how less they felt prior to the exam, because of maybe the test results. And apart from the fact that you pass test, it also gives you like boosts, like, oh, you know what you're doing. But imagine if you've been scoring 45 for all this while, 30 something, 45, you've not even been starting, talk less of even having distinction in your test. You'll be feeling like, if I cannot even pass test, how will I even pass the exam? Except if you are one genius from a secondary school, then you know, okay, even if it's that bad, I can see, take the fear off. If you've been failing the test, know that you have to put in much more work than your colleagues to get past this thing. So that should be advised. Not that you should not be scared that you can. Who cannot even? Everybody. This school was not even meant for the smart ones, because that's what I've noticed so far. And the last thing I would say is that obviously this period is an anomaly. I mean, like, you would sleep for 3 hours instead of the usual 4 hours or 6 hours you've been sleeping before. It's normal. Yeah. Just dedicate it to the exam. Like, this exam is an anomaly. It's not the regular exams you've been writing all your lives. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to spill like real facts here. You eat bad food. I mean, you go and buy food instead of cook food. It's normal. Brush your teeth. I will not say that you. I'm not saying you not brush your teeth. Brush your teeth.
Bathe your clothes.
I mean, you can give your coat to dry cleaner.
Let it be on sharp.
Yeah, sharp. Like, look normal. Look sane as you can. Though you look insane, but like, try and look as sane as you can. That's normal. You grow beards, you grow hair, cut them before the day of the exam, probably before the day of the viva, and you look tattered. It's normal. It's just quite okay. I mean, if you are looking too fresh, question yourself. That it's not that it's not possible, but question yourself. If you are looking too normal or too fresh, question yourself. That'll be all from me.
Yeah. Okay. So regarding to wrap up everything, is that exam become composure. They've said all those things. You have to read. And then he said something that said, like, the exam preparation is actually it. You've been preparing, whether you've been failing your test or you've been passing your test, and I'm sure everybody to some certain level would have been actually putting the energy. Now you're at this stage, at this critical stage is that, like, you have to put in all your maximum, like all your whole, like, dedicate all your efforts, honestly, to it. The result is going to be good by God's grace, but you have to have tried your best. Don't neglect your prayer. Don't neglect your prayer. Like, your prayer is actually important. There's a saying that one of my friends usually say, like, read as if it's only prayer read as if it's only book that will make you pass, and then pray as if it's only prayer that is going to make you pass. So read, pray, and then read, pray. That does it. Read and pray, read and pray, read and pray, and then put in your whole. If you are reading 10 hours, if you can maximize it, and then have a good sleep, like 4-5 hours sleep should be enough.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode. Kiva, Savant, Tasmatitotahiti signing out. Have a good one.
Goodbye, guys.
Enjoy.